45 special presentation.
The Shade 45 Spotlight. Putting the spotlight on new artists and music you need to know about before everybody else. Hosted by Reef the Streets.
Exclusively on Shade 45.
Shade 45. This is the Shade 45 Spotlight with two very important, very special guests. None other than Mr. Marshall Mathers and Mr. Royce 5'9". And I am Reef.
Yes.
And you may also know me as Reef the Streets. We have Paulie clapping.
Yeah.
That is a loud clap, dude.
Yeah.
Oh! Jesus. And we are here to spotlight a very important and very highly anticipated release, Bad Meets Evil, the return of Bad Meets Evil. Give it up! Give it up!
Yeah!
Awesome! Yeah! They're back. They're back, people. They have an EP. It's called Hell, and you're getting to hear it for the first time on Shade 45 with special commentary and special insight that
it's
you will
called
not
Hell,
get.
the sequel.
The sequel.
Yes.
Hell.
The sequel.
Hell
the sequel. Okay, yeah.
So, gentlemen, let's get right to it. This was a surprise to a lot of people. A lot of the fans were like, "Oh my God, they finally did it!" Let's get into the genesis of Bad Meets Evil. Let's go back in time. Let's go back in time to circa, I'm gonna say 1997, 98. Where did the Bad Meets Evil concept? How did that evolve? Where did that come from?
Well, let me see. Ryan and I, Rai. No, me and Royce met back in, when did we meet? 97? 97, and he was actually opening up at, I think it was a place called the Palladium, and he was opening up for Usher. I hadn't heard or even knew about him yet, and he was opening up for Usher, and I had a booth where I was selling my tapes, the Slim Shady, the EP. Mm-hmm. And we ended up meeting later, doing a song together at a studio called Nations.
He had a line on the song that said, "This is what happens when."
Oh yeah. When Bad Meets Evil, and then I think we didn't know what to do with the song yet. We had just kept it. You know, I think we just, we were local artists. We wanted to do a song with each other.
You didn't even have a record deal yet.
Neither one of us had a deal. We weren't sure what was going to happen to the song, but soon after that, I linked up with Dre, went out to Cali, and I wanted to use that song, but rework it with a different beat. And probably, I think we did, I don't know if we did all new verses or all new rhymes to it, but I think we might have kept a few lines or whatever from the original version, but I wanted to use it for...
The Shade 45 Spotlight, we are back.
Shades 45.
Shades 45.
Fives.
Bright out.
Royce the 5'9's.
Royce is the 5'9's and
Nines is
Marshall's Mathers, Eminem's is. We are back, and we just heard Scary Movie, the debut release of Bad Meets Evil. Okay.
Bad Meets
Evil. That was circa 1998, and of course, after that, or during that time, is when you got your record deal. You obviously started recording your debut album, and we get to the actual song that appeared on your album, which was Bad Meets Evil. And you were saying in the previous break that it was kind of like a mix of old and new rhymes. And
well, he didn't let me change a lot of my rhymes.
I didn't?
No.
What a dick.
He was like, "Nah, man, they straight how they are."
Did you guys at that point ever envision, like, hey, we should do a project or form like a side group or something like that of just doing a whole project together at that time?
With a piece of vinyl, that's kind of what that was. Not so much when we did the song for his album, but when we did the vinyl, it was kind of like, we'll do this as a group, especially since we did it separate from his prior engagement.
I think how it all ended up coming about and coming full circle like this, I think is even back in the day, I think me and...
You're checking out the Shade 45 Spotlight Special.
Exclusively on Shade 45.
Yes, we are back. It is the Shade 45 Spotlight. I'm joined by Mr. Mathers and Mr. Bryce.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's me.
Sorry.
Royce the 59.
So, guys, we're back. We just listened to the original Bad Meets Evil track from your Slim Shady LP, 1999. Wow. And here we are in 2011. Mm-hmm. And now we are finally, the fans, everybody is finally getting a Bad Meets Evil project. And obviously the first question you've had to answer, and I'm sure, is what took so long?
What took so long for this to come about?
Absolutely.
Well, you know, there was a few years that me and Royce weren't speaking, and there was some issues going on that we had just internally, and some of them were public, you know, between him and I and D12, and you know, that recently, within the last couple of years, got squashed and put to rest. And you know, I really think that after the thing happened with Proof or whatever, you know, we really decided like this was stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like to continue the beef, and Royce went on tour with D12. I think it was 2 years ago.
It was a couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, Royce had went on tour with D12 and you know, pretty much squashed it with them. And the guys that come to me like, yo, you know, we pretty much squashed it with Royce. You know, we're good. Maybe you should holler at him. So you know, I called him, and then ever since then, you know, we started talking again, and you know, then eventually it led to him having his the thing with Slaughterhouse, you know, and being in that group, and us having interest in that, and also, you know, me realizing that, you know, what a talent that he is as far as an artist and a rapper, and just wanting to work with him again. So, you know, we linked back up and just got in the studio and started making a few songs, you know, and it started out, there was no plan in the works. It wasn't like a thought out, hey man, let's get together and
I think I might have bought you something that I was asking you if you can get on for my album or something. I don't know how we started recording. I think whatever it was.
I think there was one song that you wanted me to get on.
Yeah.
I got on the song, and then I don't remember exactly how everything went down, but
we went back and forth on the third verse. And it was fun because we was like playing with each other's words. So it was like a fun process. So we just, with no direction, just kept recording songs like whenever we had time, and we was liking the way everything was coming out. So.
And then we needed something to do with it. After we had a certain amount of songs, we was like, okay, well, what do we do with this?
And this is over the past, what, like 7, 8, 9 months?
Or
less.
That many? 5, 6? 5 or 6 months, maybe. You know, of just us just kind of getting in and just.
I mean, there wasn't like we're gonna do an album right away. It was just more just having fun, just working, staying sharp.
It wasn't consistent.
Right.
It was like I would be at the other studio doing something, and I would come up here just to check on him all the time because he always up here working, and it's like it just happened, man.
All right, well, you know what? Let's get into the record because everybody wants to hear it. Everybody wants to know about how this all, you know, was actually made and the thought process that went into it. So without further ado, and this is a hell of an intro produced by Havoc of Mobb Deep. Shouts to Havoc, shouts to Prodigy. Welcome home. Let's go into the intro of Hell.
Bad Meets Evil.
The sequel.
Shade 45.
We are back on the Shade 45 Spotlight, and we are showcasing, we are showboating with Eminem and Royce the 5'9", better known as Bad Meets Evil. Important question here. Who decided amongst the two of you, I'm bad, I'm evil? No, I want to be bad. No, I want to be evil. When was that decided?
When we did the first song, because that's just.
It all spawned from that one line. I wish there was like a better story behind it.
Yeah, it's not a real good story.
Yeah,
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Nah, it's pretty anticlimactic.
But if you think about it, think about his content, and then think about my content, and then
it does work.
And then
it makes sense.
When we get together, we go even harder with playing those characters. Because I got potty mouth when I rap with him.
Right.
It gets worse.
It gets worse.
When they come together, it's like,
hey, whoa.
it's like they kind of like antagonize each other and like push each other to like do more like off the wall shit.
Not in a competitive way, or more like just
both.
I think that every time we rap, it's competitive. We're competitive by nature, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, us being friends, it was more like the way that this whole thing came together. I think it was just more organic than anything. Like, what I mean is, songs just kind of happened as we started doing them. It was like, okay, well, what's your last line gonna be? Oh, okay, all right, well, I'll come off it like this. Or sometimes it was not even asking what the next line was gonna be, but just hearing what he laid and I'd lay something. And then I'd feel like I want to stop here. I wonder what he'll do if I stop here. And then I would stop and let him, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's a totally different process from when you're working as independently solo artists, of how you come about and formulate a record and the song structure or whatever, because you guys are here together.
Yeah.
It's not sending files back and forth.
Yeah, no, we were actually, for every song, we were in the studio together, you know, and just, maybe not every song. There was a couple of songs where he'd lay a verse and then I'd hear it and say, okay, I'm gonna lay my verse. Or I'd lay a verse and he'd hear, you know, let him hear it. Like, what do you think if about this verse, and you come in for the second verse? Some of it was like that, but most of it, the majority of the work was done actually, you know, together in the studio.
And you know, from listening to the record, you get that feeling that you both are here, present, and kind of pushing each other to do better.
Yeah, we wanted it to sound real cohesive.
And at what point, you know, as you started kind of getting back together and working together and kind of picking up where you left off a while ago, did you say, hey, let's make a real project?
How did that happen?
I don't know. I think that we had. Well, I think that
we have a record company. So
right. But I think once we got to a certain point, it was like we ended up playing the shit for Paul and saying, what do you think we should do with this? And it started to make sense, you know, with the whole Bad Meets Evil concept. I started saying it in a line or two. He would say it, he may say it in a line or two, and it just ended up like
kind of
organically coming together, you know.
Interesting. Well, let's go into the second cut. Talk about Fastlane real quick.
I like the word organic, so I'm going to keep using it probably for the rest of this interview. Because organic kind of means like it's natural, you know, it just naturally happened. So,
Only by Eminem Addicts. Subscribe.